Bowl. I'm your host, Jeremy Krug, and we're on the campus of West Kentucky Community and Technical College in Paducah with two teams who've made it to the semifinals of the 2020 Academic Bowl. It's a game of quick recall where two teams from across the region will compete to win scholarship cash. On today's show, it's Carlisle County taking on McCracken County. Let's meet our contestants. We'll start with McCracken County. First, we have Sydney Woodard. She likes to study languages. Next, we have Ella McBee, who sails competitively. Next, we have Noah Ellis, who's the captain of the team. He's also a student of theology. Next, we have Mason Wooten, and he's into theater production. And they're coached by Tammy Bohannon. On the opposing team, we have Carlisle County. Let's meet the players from Carlisle. First, we have Carter Gibson, who likes to play baseball. Next is Zach Miller, who is on the golf team. He's also the captain of our academic team today. Next, we have Albert Terry, who's in the Beta Club. And finally, Jordan Reddick, who's in the FFA. And Carlisle County is coached by Sarah Workman. Well, we're going to go ahead and play the first half. I'll ask 40 questions, and when you answer a toss-up question correctly, you'll earn the right to answer a bonus question. Let's start with a toss-up. Toss-up 1. The place where a group of nerves exits from the spinal canal is called a nerve what? Carlisle Jordan.
Nerve ending.
Incorrect. McCracken Mason.
Plexus.
No, it's a nerve root. Nerve root. Toss up 2. First and last name answer required. What fictional character created by Nathaniel Hawthorne took on a cold-sounding last name instead of Prynne, partly to distance himself from his adulterous wife? That's time. It was Roger Chillingworth. Toss up 3. What Norse goddess wore the falcon cloak? McCracken Sydney.
Right.
That is correct. Here is your bonus, number 4. During the 1930s, the communist movement initiated a strategy to unite leftist factions against fascism. This movement became known as the Popular what?
Front.
That is correct. Here's toss-up 5. Name the points at which an ellipse makes its sharpest turns. McCracken Mason.
Endpoints.
Incorrect. Carlisle, can you take it? Carlisle Zach.
Apex.
No, they're called the vertices. Toss-up 6. In Voltaire's Candide, what city is affected by a tremendous earthquake? McCracken Noah.
Lisbon.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, number 7. Two quantities are in inverse proportion if their product is a what?
Reciprocal.
That's incorrect. Captain?
No answer.
The answer is constant, a constant. Toss-up 8. What musical instrument consists of a flat-sounding box with 30 to 45 strings stretched over it and played horizontally with fingertips or picks? Carlisle Zach.
Harp.
Incorrect. McCracken, can you steal it? McCracken Ella.
Guitar.
No, it's a zither. A zither. Toss-up 9. Protons and neutrons are each composed of how many quarks? McCracken Mason.
3.
That is correct. Your bonus, number 10 to McCracken. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Federal Home Loan Banks are GSEs, an abbreviation that stands for government what?
Secure exchanges.
Incorrect. Captain Carlisle.
No answer.
No, the answer is sponsored enterprises. Toss-up 11. What is the earliest period of the Paleozoic era? That's time. The answer is Cambrian. We'll check the score here. It looks like McCracken County is leading Carlisle by a score of 4-0. Moving on to toss-up 12. 3 friends are among 8 people who are to be randomly divided into groups of 4. What is the probability that the 3 friends will end up in the same group? That's time. The answer is 1/7. 1/7. Toss-up 13. In the Roman Republic, each of the 2 chief magistrates held what title? McCracken Noah.
Consul.
That is correct. Your bonus, McCracken, number 14. What historical novel by James Michener was named for an Eastern European country that was occupied by both the Nazis and Soviets during World War II?
Bulgaria.
That's incorrect. Carlisle.
No answer.
The answer is Poland. Poland, toss-up 15. During the late 18th and early 19th centuries, he was widely known for painting landscapes and pastoral scenes. This Englishman was John who? Incorrect. Carlisle, Zach.
Cage.
No, it was actually John Constable. Toss-up 16. According to Nathaniel Hawthorne, the House of the Seven Gables was a colonial house built in the English style in what Massachusetts community? Carlisle, Zach.
Salem.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, Carlisle, number 17. What Greek orator with a speech defect used pebbles in his mouth to improve his delivery?
No answer.
Incorrect. Captain McCracken?
Pericles.
No, it was Demosthenes, actually. Toss-up 18. What is the probability of drawing a king on both the first and second draws from a shuffled deck of cards if the first deck is not replaced before the second card is drawn? McCracken, Ella.
169.
That's incorrect. Carlisle, can you steal it? Carlisle, Zach.
1/50.
No, it's 1/221, actually. Toss-up 19. Just before his death at age 88, he said, I have too much of a wife in my art, and she has given me trouble enough. As to my children, they are the works which I shall leave behind me. Name this extraordinary painter, sculptor, and architect of the 16th century. McCracken, Sydney.
Bernini.
Incorrect. That's time. The answer is Michelangelo. Toss-up 20. What is the abbreviation for the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency? That's time. It's JAXA. Toss-up 21. What is the focus of this parabola? Y equals 1/8 times x squared. That's time. The answer is 0-2. We'll check the score. It looks like McCracken County is still in the lead. The score is 5-1. Moving on to toss-up 22. What country and member of the Commonwealth is between the overseas French departments of Guadeloupe and Martinique? That's time. The answer is Dominica. Toss-up 23. Niflheim, a place in Scandinavian mythology, is most similar to what place in Greek mythology? McCracken, Mason.
Underworld.
That's Judge. That's incorrect. Carlisle, Zach.
Hades.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, 24, going to Carlisle. How may these chemicals be collectively classified? Mercury fulminate, trinitrotoluene, and nitroglycerin.
Salts.
That's incorrect. McCracken?
No answer.
The answer is explosives. Toss-up 25. John Keats wrote the words, "Tender is the night," in his Ode to a Nightingale. What American author used this line as the title of his novel about a physician and his mentally ill wife? That's time. The answer is F. Scott Fitzgerald. Toss-up 26. Norbert Wiener developed the concept of homeostasis, a process by which systems maintain their level of organization against the seemingly inevitable increase in disorder throughout the universe. Name the tendency for all matter and energy to evolve to an inert state. McCracken, Mason.
Entropy.
That is correct. It is entropy. Your bonus, 27, to McCracken. What novel by Toni Morrison is based on the story of Margaret Garner, a slave who escapes from a Kentucky plantation, but later, upon being captured, kills her own 2-year-old daughter to save her from slavery?
Beloved.
That is correct. Point for McCracken. Toss-up 28. The Triumph of the Victor by Peter Paul Rubens depicts what Greek goddess bestowing a victor with a laurel wreath? McCracken, Sydney.
Athena.
That's incorrect. Carlisle, Zach.
Apollo.
No, it was Nike, actually. Toss-up 29. Two meshed gears have 35 and 56 teeth, respectively. Their speeds are inversely proportional to the number of teeth. To the nearest whole number, the second gear should be driven at what speed for the first gear to run at 1,450 RPM? That's time. The answer is 906 RPM. Toss up 30. What group of people served out their exile in Babylon during the Babylonian captivity? McCracken, Noah.
Hebrews.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, 31, going to McCracken. It had a barrel 110 feet long and weighed 200 tons. It fired shells 12 miles high for a distance of 75 miles. At that range, it was highly inaccurate, but Paris was too big a target to miss. Name this colossal German howitzer.
No answer.
That's incorrect. Carlisle.
No answer.
It is Big Bertha, as it turns out. Toss-up, 32. Crafted by the Navajos, these distinctive necklaces of cast silver beads, often with abundant turquoise stones, are called squash what? That's time. They're called squash blossoms. Squash blossoms. Toss-up 33. First and last name answer required. Well, to what fictional character does the pronoun refer in this passage? Using the knife with which he had murdered Basil, he stabbed the frightful portrait. McCracken, Sydney.
Dorian Gray.
That is correct. It was Dorian Gray. Here's your bonus, 34 to McCracken. An angle formed by two secants intersecting outside a circle is measured by what fraction of the difference of the intercepted arcs?
1/2.
That's correct. Toss-up, 35. What is formed when sulfuric acid is poured on insoluble copper hydroxide and the resulting solution is evaporated? Carlisle, Zach.
Rust.
That's incorrect. McCracken, can you steal? That's time. It's copper 2 sulfate. Copper 2 sulfate. Toss-up, 36. The world's longest single poem deals with a war between two branches of the same family in India. McCracken, Sydney.
Mahabharata.
That is correct. Your bonus, 37. What explorer was the first Englishman to meet the Native American Inuit people near a Baffin Island bay that bears his name?
Hudson.
That's incorrect. Carlisle?
No answer.
The answer is Martin Frobisher. Toss-up, 38. How many half sections are in a township? Carlisle, Jordan.
8.
Incorrect. McCracken? McCracken, Ella.
16.
No, it's actually 72. 72. Toss-up, 39. Surrounding the vitreous humor are 3 layers of tissue. Name the tough, white, fibrous outer layer. Carlisle, Zach.
Dermis.
Incorrect. McCracken, Mason.
Sclera.
It is the sclera, talking about the eye. Here's your bonus 40, the last of the half. These people were trained in what profession? Louis Kahn, Benjamin Latrobe, and Louis Sullivan.
Architect.
Architect is correct. And that's the end of the first half. So let's take a look at the score. It looks like McCracken is leading Carlisle by a score of 13-2. We're going to take a short break for halftime. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more West Kentucky Academic Bowl. Welcome back to West Kentucky Academic Bowl. Our teams are ready to start the second half, and right now McCracken County is leading Carlisle by a score of 13-2. But before we start, we have a new player. For playing for Carlisle County, we have Austin Wilson, who is into agriculture. So let's go ahead and get started. So once again, 40 questions. Here's toss-up number 1. The brain is devoid of nociceptive tissue and therefore cannot experience what? McCracken Mason.
Pain.
That's correct. It is pain. Here's your bonus 2. A minor sixth consists of how many semitones?
10.
That's incorrect. Carlisle?
3.
No, it is actually 8. Toss up 3. Sir Walter Raleigh was eventually put to death after being charged with treason against King Elizabeth's successor. Name that king. McCracken, Noah.
James I.
It is correct, James I. Here's your bonus to McCracken. The distance between -2, 3, and 8, -1 is 2 times the square root of what?
$52.
Please repeat that.
52.
That's incorrect. Carlisle?
5.
No, it's 29. Toss up 5. What allegorical novel by Salman Rushdie is a historical chronicle of modern India centering on the fates of two children born within the first hour of independence from Great Britain? That's time. The answer is Midnight's Children. Toss-up 6. Name the romantic poet who, in a poem about an urn, wrote these words: "Beauty is truth, truth beauty." McCracken, Sydney.
Percy Bysshe Shelley.
That's incorrect. Carlisle, can you take it? No, the answer is John Keats. John Keats. Toss-up 7. In a pile of 10 coins, there are dimes and nickels. Since there are 2 less than 5 times as many dimes as nickels, what is the value of the pile? That's time. The answer is 90 cents. Toss-up 8. Spell the name for the exercise, bar, which ballet dancers may grasp during practice sessions. That's time. The answer is B-A-R-R-E. Toss-up 9. The earliest legal systems were almost always forms of lex talionis, or the law of what? That's time. The answer is retaliation or retribution. Toss-up 10. Dinosaurs were extinct by the end of what geologic era during which deciduous trees developed? Carlisle, Zach.
Mesozoic.
That is correct. It is Mesozoic. Carlisle, here's your bonus for 11. What play by Henrik Ibsen concerns a ruthless aristocratic woman with hardly a single redeeming virtue who marries George Tessman and ultimately commits suicide?
No answer.
That's incorrect. McCracken?
I designate Sydney.
Hedda Gabler.
It is Hedda Gabler. That's correct. Bonus for McCracken. Toss-up 12. Name the equation that estimates the number of observable civilizations in our galaxy by multiplying the rate of star formation in the Milky Way by the fraction of stars that have planets, by the average number of planets suitable for life, by the fraction that actually have life, along with several additional factors. Carlisle, Zach.
Astrology.
Incorrect. McCracken, can you steal it? That's time. The answer is the Drake equation. Toss-up 13. The angle of elevation from point A to the top of a pole measures 42 degrees. Point A is 25 meters from the base of the pole. Given that the tangent of 42 degrees is 0.9004, what is the height of the pole? That's time. The answer is 22.5 meters. Toss-up 14. The Russian Revolution began in 1917 when a parade of female textile workers erupted in protest against food shortages in what city? McCracken, Noah.
St. Petersburg.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, McCracken, number 15. Richard Strauss wrote a symphonic poem named after what king of Scotland featured in a Shakespearean tragedy?
Macbeth.
That is correct. It is Macbeth. Toss-up 16. What is the median of these scores? 4, 5, 7, 11, 12, 15, 17, and 19. McCracken, Ella.
12.
That's incorrect. Carlisle, can you steal it? Carlisle, Albert.
11.5.
That is correct. It's 11.5. Your bonus, Carlisle, number 17. Name the Renaissance writer who published a Greek version of the New Testament. That's time. McCracken?
No answer.
The answer is Erasmus. Well, check the score. It looks like McCracken County is leading Carlisle County 18-4. Moving on to toss-up 18. Who discovered the principle that no 2 electrons in an atom have the same 4 quantum number? McCracken Mason.
Pauli.
That is correct. It was Wolfgang Pauli. Your bonus, number 19, McCracken. What story set in Chicago in the early 1900s tells of Jurgis, who is injured on the job and fired, his wife Onis, who becomes her boss's mistress, her death in childbirth, and their son's drowning?
The Jungle.
That is correct. It was The Jungle. Toss up 20. Passages from the letters of Abigail Adams to her husband figure prominently in what Broadway musical? And McCracken, Sydney.
Hamilton.
Incorrect. Carlisle, can you steal it? That's time. The answer is 1776. Toss up 21. By its title, A Lady of Aroostook by William Dean Howells, you would guess the story takes place in what state? McCracken, Noah.
Maine.
That is correct. It is Maine. Your bonus, McCracken, number 22. The main source of cellular energy, what cycle named for an acid was discovered by Hans Krebs?
Citric acid cycle.
That is correct. McCracken, toss up number 23. With what musical instrument is Wynton Marsalis a master? McCracken, Sydney.
Piano.
That's incorrect. Carlisle, can you steal it? Carlisle, Zach.
Trumpet.
It is correct. It is the trumpet. Point for Carlisle. Here's your bonus, number 24. In 1494, Columbus discovered the island of Jamaica and gave it what name?
No answer.
Incorrect. McCracken?
No answer.
The answer is Santiago. Toss up 25. The expression x squared minus 10x plus k is a perfect square for what value of k? McCracken, Mason.
25.
That is correct. It is 25. Here's question 26, a bonus for McCracken. What abstract sculptures usually made of sheet metal resemble mobiles but have no moving parts?
No answer.
Incorrect. Carlisle?
No answer.
Well, they're stable, so they're called stabiles. Toss up 27. What is x at the intersection of the lines plotted from these simultaneous equations? X plus y equals 7 and x minus y equals 1. McCracken, Mason.
4.
That is correct. It is 4. Your bonus, McCracken, number 28. What British legislation in 1764 made null and void any paper bills or bills of credit printed in America and used in payment of any bargains, contracts, debts, dues, or demands whatsoever?
Navigation Act.
That's incorrect. Carlisle?
No answer.
The answer is the Currency Act. Toss up 29. What is the local name for the fern that occurs on the eastern slopes of the Rockies? That's time. It's called a Chinook. Toss up number 30. In Wuthering Heights, who dies giving birth to Edgar McCracken, Sydney?
Catherine.
That is correct. And McCracken, you get a bonus, number 31. What type of chemical reaction joins two compounds with a resulting formation of water?
Dehydration synthesis. Dehydration synthesis.
That's incorrect. Carlisle, can you steal it?
No answer.
The answer is a condensation reaction. We'll check the score here. And it looks like McCracken is leading Carlisle by a score of 25-5. Let's move on to toss-up 32. What symphony by Berlioz depicts a young man's opium dream after an McCracken, Sydney.
Symphony Fantastique.
That is correct. It's Symphony Fantastique. Your bonus, number 33. This is the formula for determining what feature of a regular polygon. S all over 2 times tangent of the quantity 180 over n.
Some of the internal angles.
Internal angles.
That's incorrect. Carlisle?
Doesn't get Albert.
Amount of sides.
No, the answer is apotheme. Apotheme. Toss up 34. Max is short of cash when it comes time to pay his income tax. If he files his tax return but does not pay, the IRS charges 0.5% per month on the balance due. If he doesn't file on time, the IRS charges what percentage per month on the unpaid tax? That's time. The answer is 5%. Toss up 35. What Kurt Vonnegut story concerns a U.S. Army colonel who must win a chess game with a Chinese officer in order to free his captured family and some enlisted men? McCracken, Sydney.
Slaughterhouse 5.
That's incorrect. Carlisle, can you steal it? That's time. The answer is all the king's horses. Toss up 36. What force in newtons is needed to accelerate a wagon with a mass of 10 kilograms at the rate of 5 meters per second in a westward direction? McCracken, Ella.
-50.
Judge? That's incorrect. Carlisle, Zach.
Negative 50 grams per second.
No, force is just 50 newtons. Toss up, 37. What is the total number of non-zero whole numbers less than 100 that are divisible by 3? That's time. The answer is 33. Toss up 38. What escape artist's name completes this promotional motto popularized in the 1920s? Secure knots, secure not what? That's time. The answer was Harry Houdini. Toss up 39. Quantum effects cause uncountable branching alternative worlds in Frederick Pohl's story, The Coming of the Quantum what? That's time. It's The Coming of the Quantum Cats. Cats. Toss up 40, the last question of the match. These were cities of what ancient civilization? Dilbat, Kish, Opus, Ur, and Eridu. McCracken, Noah.
Sumeria.
That's incorrect. Carlisle, Zach.
Mesopotamia.
No, it was Babylonia, or Akkad, the Akkadian civilization. Well, we're at the end of the match. The score on the board is McCracken County 26, Carlisle County 5. We'll check the score, and then we'll be right back for our conclusion right after this. Welcome back to West Kentucky Academic Bowl. We've just finished our match, and it looks like we have a winner. The score is official. McCracken County is our winner today, defeating Carlisle County by a score of 26-5. So congratulations, McCracken. We'll be seeing you in the finals. You have just won $2,000 in scholarship money, and you'll be playing for $5,000 in the finals. And to Carlisle County, don't feel too bad. You have won $1,000 for winning your district tournament. To everybody at home, I'm Jeremy Krug. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on West Kentucky Academic Bowl.